Yep, you start. You're recording.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Ann Powell. My husband James and I have been using doTERRA essential oils for almost 4 years now. We love the health benefits and the well-being they've brought into our lives and to our family. I'm really excited to be sharing with you today about the subject I'm most passionate about, using essential oils to affect our emotional and mental health. I believe everyone deserves to have vibrant mental health because it affects every other aspect of our lives, and I'm going to talk about how that is so. In this webinar, we'll talk about some essential oil basics, what essential oils are, how to use them, why doTERRA, and we'll talk about specifically about using essential oils to improve your life through your emotions. I'll end by sharing some doTERRA specific information like monthly specials and the best way to get oils. So what are essential oils? Well, essential oils are found in the bark, roots, stems, flowers, etc. of certain aromatic plants. They contain unique chemical compounds that are potent and volatile, meaning that they evaporate quickly in the air. Essential oils are natural and safe and have many applications in health and wellness. You might be wondering what those uses are, so I'll point out a few simple things they're frequently used for. First, we're going to talk about mood management. Essential oils are simple ways to manage emotions and influence mood. Usually, by simply inhaling the fragrance of an oil, we get a quick response that can calm, uplift, reassure, or otherwise affect our moods. It's easy to incorporate the use of oils in everyday life due to their versatile and effective nature. Essential oils can be used around the home, in cooking, cleaning, and to support the health of the body. I use essential oils every day to improve the appearance of my skin, for immune support, and to clean my home. Using essential oils for health makes sense when they have so many positive benefits, like soothing skin irritations, promoting healthy digestion, and promoting a good night's sleep. Incorporating essential oils into your everyday life is easy when you understand the best ways to use them. We've all heard of aromatherapy, and that's what you get when you use oils simply by smelling or inhaling their aroma. There are simple ways to do that. Number one is straight from the bottle. You can also mix a little oil in a spray bottle with water, shake it and mist it, or just drop in the palm of your hand, rub your palms together, and then cup the hands in front of the nose and inhale. Using a diffuser allows the oils to fill the air for a longer period of time. When using essential oils for emotional benefits, this aromatic use is the very best way to get oils into your system, and we'll talk about why that is more later. I like to apply some essential oils directly on the body part I'm targeting, such as sore muscles, but I also use them on my abdomen to soothe an upset stomach. I love using oils on the bottoms of my feet when I want them to get right into my system and go to work. Some oils may cause skin irritation, and it's wise to dilute them before applying them to the skin. There are some areas of the body you'll always want to avoid, like the eyes and the skin close to them. Never pour oils directly in your eyes or your ears. Using doTERRA's certified pure therapeutic grade oils internally can have great health benefits. Not all essential oils are to be used internally. If you are unsure, simply check the label. If it has the FDA supplemental facts listed on the bottle, that oil has been determined safe for internal use. If it doesn't, use it aromatically or topically. I love taking the oils that boost my immune system in a capsule and swallowing them. You can add oils to food or water as well. Drinking some oils in a glass of water not only tastes good, but delivers health benefits to the digestive system and beyond to all the systems of the body. Let's talk about where you might want to start. We'll start by talking about what we sometimes call the beginner's trio. Lemon. This sunny scented oil with a simple chemical makeup is my go-to oil for cleaning. From gummy residue on my kitchen table to cleaning up my mood, it's uplifting and refreshing. I drink a few drops of lemon in water every day. And lavender. This soothing oil is great for skin irritations like insect bites and burns, but it's also soothing to emotions. I like to use it in a diffuser when emotions are running high. It's calming before bed and promotes a restful night's sleep. Just put a drop on your pillow or on the bottom of your feet. Peppermint. This invigorating and uplifting oil promotes easy breathing. I put a drop on the roof of my mouth to relieve occasional congestion. It's great to freshen breath and for an afternoon pick-me-up. So why doTERRA? I have a little video I want to show you that perfectly sums up why I use doTERRA essential oils.
What's in this bottle? I say love. You see, in Somaliland, living is hard and opportunities are scarce, especially for our daughters. But doTERRA saw our devotion to frankincense trees that we've harvested for generations. We formed a partnership, and since then, everything has changed. My husband no longer fears corrupt middlemen or poor harvests because doTERRA guarantees a fair market price as well as prepayments. I no longer dread being harassed while sorting the frankincense resin because doTERRA ensures a safe working environment. But most beautiful of all, my little girl is no longer forced to work next to me because doTERRA has built schoolhouses to empower all of our children. This journey of love doesn't end here. Once I've sorted the purest resin, it shipped to doTERRA's distillery in Bulgaria, which responsibly employs dozens of local artisans. Unlike other companies, doTERRA uses organic methods of harvesting and distillation to gently preserve the frankincense therapeutic properties. Then the oil makes its way to doTERRA's state-of-the-art lab, where scientists apply the most advanced tests to ensure the oil's purity and potency. doTERRA has even partnered with over 100 research, university, and medical facilities to find the best applications of essential oils. Ultimately, doTERRA does all this because it cares about your family as much as it cares about mine. What's in this bottle? I say love.
Maybe it's because I've lived with depression for as long as I can remember, or maybe it's because my dad was a scientist who wasn't a fan of what were then known as the soft sciences of psychology and sociology. But mental health has always been an interest for me. I've read all the self-help books, cognitive therapy books, and fix your life books out there. Emotional health has been elusive and tricky for a lot of reasons, but there are a few women I've discovered I consider to be my personal mentors that I was led to through doTERRA and my use of essential oils. They have actually helped me to get a handle on things. Rebecca Hinsey is an author and leader in mental health. Her work with families has changed thousands of lives. In addition to books she's written, she has created a series of trainings called Emotion Mentor Trainings. You can enroll in some of her classes online. Dr. Sue Lawton is not only a scientist, but a mental health practitioner who's been using essential oils in her practice for over 40 years. I've taken classes from her and love her positive and healing energy. Laura Jacobs owned a health food store for 20 years and has helped tens of thousands of clients to achieve healing and optimal health through nutritional products. These three women embody a wealth of knowledge and experience unparalleled in dealing with emotions and mental health. Most of my words in this webinar are ideas I learned from them. I quote them frequently and urge you to look to them for more information. So let's start by asking ourselves a question. Are you ready for anything? How does that look to you? My initial thought when someone asks me that is to think about an emergency, like an earthquake or a car accident. Do I have what I need to take care of myself in an emergency? But in this case, I'm not talking just about emergencies. What about bad news? What about a job loss? Or what about good news, like a trip up the coast with a good friend? By anything, I mean anything. How can we possibly prepare for anything? Every change, every new thing requires us to rally our emotions and other physical resources to the cause. Most of us know an optimist or two that can handle just about anything with ease and grace, but most of us are not that optimist. What's the difference between that person and us? I think we probably all could agree that attitude is the key that makes the difference in our ability to handle anything that comes our way. For most of the modern era, science has focused on the physical aspect of preparedness, our physiology. The belief has been that if we take care of our bodies by eating right, exercising, and getting enough sleep, we'll be physically strong and therefore able to handle anything that comes our way. The irony is that our physical health actually begins with our psychology, or how we think and what we believe. We can't be ready for anything when we feel bad, no matter how fit or healthy our body may be. How you feel is going to be how you feel. So if you want to live with not only optimal health, but with that kind of be ready for anything attitude, we have to take charge of how we feel. Let's talk about homeostasis for a minute. Homeostasis is our body's constant drive or move toward balance or equilibrium. I remember a biology teacher trying to show us what this meant by pouring some green food coloring into a bottle of water and then shaking it up. He said that by the end of the class, the water would have reached homeostasis, where the coloring had settled out of the water and the water would once again be clear. But homeostasis really isn't things just resting peacefully in an unchanged state. We can sit still and quietly, but inside our bodies a million things are happening. Our hearts are beating, pumping blood by the gallons from our brains to our farthest little toes. Our kidneys are filtering blood. Our lungs are expanding and contracting. And with each one of these bodily functions, information is circulating throughout every single cell in our body. Our bodies have the capacity to circulate a lot of information really quickly. A lot of that we aren't even aware of, like breathing harder when we run up the stairs. It just happens. But sometimes we become aware of it instantly, like when we smash our little finger. Bam! The brain knows what happened right away. Or how about when we're driving on the freeway and we come up over a hill going 70 miles an hour and the traffic in front of us is at a standstill. Bam! We feel fear and our whole body rallies to the cause. Do we swerve? Do we slam on the brakes and brace for impact? Or was the traffic actually further away than it first appeared, and we just have to slow down a little, calm down, and proceed? Being able to take in information, identify it, and the accompanying emotions, and then responding appropriately is having what is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is especially important in our relationships with other people. So let's talk about how our emotional intelligence began. How was your childhood? Even those of us with the best of memories experienced the pain of childhood disappointment. Some of us experienced even greater trauma, abuse, betrayal, and insecurity. Life happened to all of us, and we responded. And we often responded the same way over and over to the same types of situations. When something happened to us as children, we had a chemical response. That information started circulating instantly throughout our bodies, telling us to stand our ground or run away or throw a little tantrum. That information was a chemical in the form of steroids. Throughout our lives, as we experienced and responded in those same patterns to stress, we produced more steroids. Those steroids blocked our body's ability to produce or use serotonin, one of our feel-good hormones. When our bodies are under stress, they're not thinking, oh, I need to feel happy. They're thinking about dealing with that situation right now. So our mood sagged. Those mood sags prompted us to produce more stress steroids, which continued to mess with our serotonin levels, and a critical thing happened. The receptor sites for serotonin in our cells began to shrink and become desensitized. You can see how this becomes a vicious cycle, and we get stuck in this cycle. And even if the danger was never real or the fears were never realized, life felt unsafe, which led to feelings of being insecure. And not just in the brain, but this stuff is circulating throughout every cell in our body, and those cells are not getting the uplift of serotonin. And so to a cellular level, we feel bad. We feel yucky. Well, the good news is that we can break this cycle by creating new habits. The playwright Oscar Wilde said, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." What are you looking at? What is the focus of your life? Does it matter? If you seek to be the master of your destiny, you must learn to manage the nature of your dominant habitual thoughts. Because you see, our thoughts are physical. They actually become chemicals inside our bodies the moment we think them. As soon as a thought occurs, the hypothalamus, or control center of the brain, turns that thought into a neuropeptide. This tiny physical substance, also known as a messenger molecule, which is then circulated throughout the entire body. Messenger molecules bind at the cell receptor sites and are then absorbed into the cell, so our thoughts literally become part of the cells of our body. Here's an analogy that I love by Dr. Lawton and Rebecca Hinsey. It compares our thoughts with the daily news produced by a newspaper. Every day, writers and editors produce articles based on their research and perceptions of what's going on in the world. When that news is published, it becomes the reality of that situation. Similarly, we write our own news by choosing our own thoughts. This news is published in the form of neuropeptides or messenger molecules that get delivered within your body, creating the reality of our life, including our health and well-being. Every day, cells wait for more information or the latest news and then respond accordingly. When we write the same daily news over and over, or provide the same thoughts and responses over and over, we establish patterns and pathways that leave us chemically altered. That cycle we spoke of previously. Until different news is presented into our body on a regular basis, our neural pathways will guide us back to our original thinking. Understanding your own body chemistry and making lifestyle adjustments is really critical if we want to jumpstart personal healing. Remember when we talked about how childhood affects us today because we responded to what happened to us in certain ways? Laura Jacobs ironically says, "The purpose of childhood may very well be to acquire the weaknesses and false beliefs we need so that we can spend the rest of our lives turning those weaknesses into strengths." Maybe that's what is meant by growing up. Whatever happens to us in childhood, it is not the way we have to live the rest of our lives. I like to look at these little guys in orange with their blue hats and think of them as the thoughts and emotions in my brain. They are laying track or neural pathways that I'll travel on with every single thought and feeling that I have. The destination is controlled by what I think and feel. Do you have a couple of emotional habits you aren't too fond of? These may well be chemical habits caused by responding the same way to situations that recur in your life. Maybe you tend to get angry in certain situations or with certain people instead of taking in more information. Maybe you feel anxious or feel fearful when confronted with something new you just don't understand or judge as unwanted. The problem is that we rely on these old patterns. This old track doesn't always lead us where we want to go. The good news is that we can reprogram ourselves. Those little emotions and thoughts laying down track can go to new places, and they never call in sick or retire, so it's not too late. And I think that is great news. Emotions are organic, constantly circulating as messengers in our bodies, and that means they can change. I love this picture of the brain. It seems to sparkle and flow and change with light and energy. I love the amazing good news that we can partner with ourselves and change our lives. We can turn mind into matter and matter into mind. We can choose where the track goes, and we can learn to have fewer and fewer train wrecks in our lives. A few thousand years ago, the psalmist of the Bible wrote, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That ancient wisdom has become today's science. We can break out of habitual thinking and rewrite our thoughts and change our body's chemistry, improving our health, our relationships, and our overall well-being. Let's talk just a little bit more about the science behind that. Remember we talked about those shrinking, desensitized receptor sites? Well, they are not stagnant. They can change both sensitivity and arrangement, which gives them great biochemical potential. Take a look at the limbic system for a minute. We know it's responsible for emotions, memory, stimulation, and mood. Deep in the limbic brain is a structure known as the amygdala. You might call it the brain's 911 system. It is the place that gets that call and prepares us for an emergency response. In this slide, we can see how the sense of smell affects the limbic system of the brain. The sense of smell is a structure of survival. It offers a quick, unfiltered route to the conscious brain. We inhale a scent, whether it's smoke from a fire or the scent of a flower, and it goes straight to the amygdala. There is no greater security clearance in our body than the sense of smell. And one cool thing about it is that this process isn't affected by our subconscious mind, so we can't easily sweep it under the rug before it registers. The amygdala routes the incoming information right to the cortex, or the thinking part of the brain, and we deal with what we've smelled. Beginning with the nasal passages and the olfactory bulb, there are more cell receptor sites here than anywhere else in the limbic brain. There is serious power here. Are you beginning to see why the use of essential oils might be a powerful way to change messages and promote optimal health? Let's talk for a minute about messenger molecules. This diagram shows the cell wall with those purple receptor sites lining the cell wall. The messenger molecules attached to those, then they are changed with amino acids and become activated within the molecule. Well, there are two different kinds of messenger molecules. The first is endogenous, which means that they're manufactured in-house. These are things like endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These are our feel-good, happy chemicals, right? But we don't always have access to them. We talked about our cell receptors shrinking or becoming desensitized, but also we don't always have access to them because of the way we've dealt with those recurring situations in our lives, or because we aren't doing physical activity first thing in the morning. Whatever the reason, we don't always have really good access to those. Good news is that we also have exogenous, or messenger molecules that come from outside the body. Essential oils are messenger molecules. They aren't just vehicles for messengers, they are messengers. When we diffuse oils, inhale them, use them topically, and even take them internally, we are bringing new information into our system. As this information moves and circulates throughout the body, it creates new intelligence and we now have new choices and new capacity to respond. At the beginning, we talked about being ready for anything and how important our attitude is in being ready for anything. I now want to propose that by intentionally partnering with essential oils, you can team up with your own chemistry and get in front of it. You can then choose your moods and choose your attitudes. And I'm going to simplify this process and break it down for you. See these emotional aromatherapy blends? These amazing blends were created by master aromatherapists to achieve certain ends, making it easy for people like me and you to access the power of the oils that we need most. Let's take a few minutes and talk about each of them. doTERRA has simplified the use for us with this awesome wheel and other tools we'll talk about. There are 18 negative emotions identified in the center of the wheel. As you look at these and identify what you're feeling, you're drawn out to what oils would be useful in dealing with that emotion. Then moving further out, you'll see the blend containing that oil that you would want to use. At the top of the wheel, we see the oil Motivate. This is a favorite blend of many people, especially my husband James. This blend is a blend of mint and citrus oils. Motivate is just the thing to boost confidence and courage. Citrus oils are uplifting and mints are invigorating. I use Motivate to get me going when I'm dreading something I have to do or when I just need a little push to get started, especially with housework. Motivate counters these negative emotions: anxiety, insecurity, apathy, and discouragement, giving confidence, courage, belief, and trust. No wonder it's great to get us going. As we move into the other oils, you're going to see some overlap from blend to blend. This is because these blends share some oils with the ones next to them on the wheel. Cheer is the next oil. This is my favorite oil. This blend of citrus and spice oils reminds me of old-fashioned Christmas candy and makes me just as happy with its bright and cheerful, optimistic aroma. The most important thing about all of these blends is to breathe them. Open the bottles, inhale them, rub them on your wrists, your neck, and your chest. Diffuse them to affect everyone in your house or even in your office. You are going to want to spread the cheer. When you feel discouraged, gloomy, distressed, and bored, cheer is going to quickly invite feelings of happiness and a positive attitude. Moving along the wheel, we come to passion, the inspiring blend. I'm a creative person who's always making something. But when I just can't seem to get interested in something, they call it losing your mojo, passion is the oil I use. It's a rich, exotic fragrance of spices and herbs that ignites passion, joy, and excitement. Overcoming feelings of discontent, anger, and bitterness, this oil encourages excitement and daring, and I think it's great. Whether it's a project that just needs to get started or a relationship with a significant other that needs some encouragement. If you are using this oil to ignite a passionate flame, I suggest using it on the inner thigh. If you're not using the roller touch version of the blend, be sure to add a little carrier oil since it is a spicy blend. Forgive. Renewing blend. Tree and herb oils are sometimes kind of ho-hum for me, and so Forgive sat in my oil box unused for a long time. Plus, I like to think that I'm a person who doesn't hang on to resentments or grudges, but sometimes I have to realize that that isn't completely true. So every now and then I would get Forgive out and give it a chance, but didn't really think about it much until recently. I was struggling with some choices I had made that I wasn't happy with, and I realized that as a mom, as a person, sometimes I'm a jerk. I sometimes neglect things I should do, or I do other negative things on a regular basis, and I need to forgive myself. When I realized this, I started rolling Forgive on myself every night before bed. and found myself at peace with all those things and more relaxed. Guilt and shame affect us all. We tend to be overly critical of ourselves at times, and forgive is the perfect antidote as it promotes feelings of contentment, charity, patience, and acceptance for ourselves and others. If cheer is my happy oil, console is my comforting oil. This fragrant blend of floral and tree oils encourages feelings of hope. Whether I'm grieving a loss or just feeling ashamed of my behavior, console buoys me up and helps heal my broken heart. This is also another nighttime favorite oil, ensuring a peaceful night, waking up with hope in the morning. Peace. Have you ever had a panic attack? Peace has nudged me away from the edge more than once. But sometimes I really don't enjoy the aroma of peace. So when I want the benefits of peace, I open the bottle and take a long, slow sniff of the oil. If it feels right, I put it on my perfume points, my wrists, and my neck. If it feels bothersome, I roll it on the back of my neck, where I might get a whiff, but not so strongly. My past self was afraid of everything, and peace has worked overtime to calm my troubled, fearful heart. Peace is the oil I use more than any other oil because I tend to worry about things and feel insecure and nervous. It helps me feel composed and peaceful, calm and reassured. All of the emotional aromatherapy oils come in two really usable forms. They come in 5 milliliter bottles that are perfect for dropping in a diffuser or rubbing on your skin. They also come in 10 milliliter roller bottles that are diluted with fractionated coconut oil. They are portable, usable, and so perfect. All of these oils were blended for aromatic and topical use only. The key to getting the most out of these blends is to consistently get the bottles open and smell them. These 4 oils, Balance, Elevation, Serenity, and Citrus Bliss, are often referred to as doTERRA's mood oils. These oils have been around a while longer than the emotional aromatherapy oils that we've discussed, and they hold their own as mental health powerhouses. We aren't going to talk about them individually in this webinar, but each of them is amazingly effective and super affordable. They all come in 15 milliliter roller bottles. If you aren't using the free doTERRA Daily Drop app, you need to pause the webinar right now and install it on your phone. Not only are there a ton of short, informative videos you can watch about oils and their usage, but there is an interactive section called Determine Your Mood that will help you be more effective as you partner with yourself in changing the daily news. I use it several times a day, especially when I'm distressed or feeling out of sorts. Here's a little look at it. This app has the list of those 18 negative emotions that were on the wheel and allows you to rank what you're feeling on a scale from 0 to 5. It then recommends the oils you're going to want to use to help your mood and your attitude. It recommends both emotional aromatherapy oils and the mood oils in the order of most needed to the least. You can see on the right where it's recommending doTERRA Elevation and then doTERRA Peace for whatever this person has put in as their negative emotions they're experiencing. And you'll see just to the right of doTERRA Elevation a little gray arrow. If you click on that arrow, it will take you to more information about each of those specific oils. It's super usable and super effective. If you don't yet have your own doTERRA account, be sure to look at all of the kit options, but especially this one. It's $195 and contains the emotional aromatherapy oils, the petal diffuser, which I love, and the introductory kit. Enrolling with this kit saves you $46 over buying it separately. You'll want access to all of these amazing life-changing oils because you do want to be the master of your destiny and you want to be ready for anything. I also want to remind you that every single essential oil has positive effects on mood, thoughts, and emotions. This month, doTERRA has an amazing promotion. When you enroll with 200 PV or place a 200 PV order, you will receive the anti-aging blend known as Immortelle. I use this oil every day on my face and the backs of my hands to reduce the sign of aging. But I also love the emotional benefits it gives me. This is a powerful oil known as the oil of spiritual insight. It inspires faith, higher consciousness, and stillness. Take a look at all your favorite oils. Most often, their emotional benefit parallels their physical benefit. Use them all with intention, remembering that they are circulating beneficial messages throughout your body, bringing health, wellness, and positive energy into every aspect of your life. There are 3 ways to purchase doTERRA essential oils. Number 1 is retail, and the benefit of purchasing oils retail is that you get the essential oils. Those who become wholesale customers or wellness advocates have the added benefit of a 25% discount and optional rewards such as getting points back for free product, access to product of the month, and online accounts. Wellness advocates also have the ability to earn compensation and enroll others. However you choose to purchase oils, please go to the person that invited you to view this webinar and ask them for more information. But get doTERRA's certified pure therapeutic grade oils open and into your life. They have the power to change your life. If you can't reach someone or don't know who invited you to view this webinar, please go to my website at mydoterra.com/forlifeoils and see what you need to do to get these oils into your life. Thank you so much for joining me in this webinar. I hope you will find that these oils benefit your family and your life as they have mine. Thanks so much, everybody.